In this video I'm gonna show you how you can use WaveCraft to create your own musical instruments. WaveCraft is an additive synthesizer. That means that we add sine waves together to create a sound. If you take a look at this synthesizer, it's a so-called subtractive synthesizer. It has two oscillators that generate the sound, and then they use filters to cut away some frequencies to get a unique sound. With WaveCraft we only have oscillators, but we have a lot of them and we can configure them quite extensively, but we don't have any filters. If you want to use filters, you can do that afterwards by using special tooling or just from your DAW. So let's take a look at the interface of WaveCraft. Here we have a simple 44 Hz sine wave sound. It sounds like this. It's very basic, but if we add some odd harmonics, it sounds like this, more like a flute. And if we look at the volume over time, you will see that we have something like a square wave. We can also directly create a square wave with the program, like this. You can see that the harmonics are already added with this sound. If you want to create even harmonics, then you end up with a shape that looks like a sawtooth. And again, for the sawtooth we can also just create it like this. If you take a look at the sawtooth, this shape actually consists of an infinite amount of sine waves. And you see that the volume is dropping down here vertically. In reality, this is not possible because it takes some time for sound to travel through the air. So you can't go instantly from this volume to that volume. If we have this sawtooth sound, we can also add an attack and a release to it. That means that the volume will rise from 0 to maximum quite fast, and at the end slowly decrease to 0 again. And that makes it sound more like a piano. So now we have seen how you can create sine waves or even sawtooths and triangles. But how do you know what kind of sine waves you need to create an instrument? For that I have this tool where you can just load in a sample, an existing sample from internet, for example this kick. And with this button you can regenerate the sound as a sine wave. Let's remove the original sound and we end up with this. Actually we can remove the envelope now and you have a sound a bit similar, and you can edit it to make it even more like to your own taste. And when you're done, you can save it as a preset. I've already created some presets that come with the program when you download it. This is a tom, for example, a flute, some bass line, a lead. Well, you get the idea. If you take, for example, this sound, it consists of 6 different sine waves. We can edit all these sine waves at once. For example, we can edit the frequencies. If we, for example, make the frequencies go up and down, you end up with a sound like that. Another thing you can do with the program is to create some noise, to add this to another sound, or to make just a small like hissy sound. And you can also create custom waveforms. Now you can edit here, for example, you can create a simple sine wave. Let's make this 1 second, and let's make the volume stable and the frequency stable as well. So this is again this very simple beep, and when you edit this sound, it's gonna sound different. You see that harmonics will start to appear. So a different wave shape gives you a very different sound. So we can also add some inharmonic partials to this. So for example, let's add 6 inharmonic partials. These are frequencies just a little bit higher or lower than the original frequency. And it makes it sound like you have multiple voices. This is the original. This is with the extra inharmonic partials. In a normal synthesizer, a subtractive synthesizer, you sometimes also can use wavetables. These are tables that can generate sound from one shape to another. We can also do that with WaveCraft, but we do it a bit differently. We can go, for example, from a sine wave to a sawtooth like this. We're cloning the sine wave and change that one into a sawtooth. And now we're gonna let the volume rise from the sine wave. Now let's let it drop from the sine wave, and the volume of the sawtooth we're gonna rise. And now we start off with a sine wave and we end with a sawtooth. So at the end you will hear that more aggressive sound. Oh, finally we can save the results of this to disk with this button. You can also change the sound quality if you want. The minimum is the CD quality, which is 16 bits and 44,000 Hertz, but you can create wave files with a much higher quality as well. That concludes this demonstration. Thank you for your attention and have fun making your own instruments with WaveCraft.